Hello ladies and gentle ladies, welcome back to another railroad development stream. Today we're going to be continuing with the Java parser, same as yesterday. So yeah, we're just going to get started today. I've done a little bit in between streams, but not a huge amount, so I will show you that off the bat. And I apologize for the stream being a little bit delayed. I had a little bit of a kerfuffle at the start, so we had to start over. Okay, let's go ahead and just get started. So I'm going to show you first of all what we had last time. Actually, I can't show you what we had last time because I made a few changes. Actually, 1 second, I'm just going to check something. Same thing I had to check last time. I don't want to accidentally make this mistake. That's fine. Okay, let me just check one other thing. That's fine. Okay. All good. So yes, last time we managed to get the Java parser complete. Complete as in compiling, and able to run. Hello Alex, welcome to the stream. Hello Rat, welcome to the stream. So we managed to get it to run last time, and we managed to get a little bit of printing to the console. Hello Side4, welcome to the stream. So yeah, we managed to get it printing to the console. We actually managed to get a lot working. We managed to get the entire module code working, which I think is actually, yes, we managed to get this part working. So actually, if I put this in here, I can show you that it does work for basic things, and then we'll go on to what we had before. So let's give it a run. Now between then, I've also made it go ahead and output to a file and just kind of make it look a little bit nicer as well in terms of the output, so I don't have to do the whole ChatGPT stuff. So it should have put that in here, and you see this is our modular compilation unit. So basic stuff, it has a name, of course, it has annotations, which is deprecated, and then that has all of these different things. So that all works. And then last time we tried a little bit more complex of a string, which is this one. I have modified it slightly between last time, I think, and now, but not a huge amount. In fact, it might be exactly the same. Yeah, I think it is actually exactly the same. But yeah, basically, we tried running this and it didn't really work. Now, let's run it now and see what happens. So, as I say, I've now output it to a file, so it won't show up in here anymore. I probably should update that message. But here we go. Here's what it's output. So it has actually worked somewhat, just it hasn't got to where I wanted it to. So if we have a look here, we've got the compilation unit, we've got the packages, we've got the imports, those are all fine. We have the class, which is fine, that has the public modifier. It has a name, which is SST testing, and then it has some members. So it has a method declaration, which is public and static. It's found the return type, which is void. That didn't work last time, but I have fixed that. That now works. And it has a name, of course, which is main. Then we have parameters. Now, last time it said there was a receiver parameter. I have now fixed that. It doesn't do that anymore. There is just a normal parameter, which is a string array, size 1, or dimensions of 1, which is called args. So that works. And then in the body, we have the block statement. So we first have an expression statement, which basically every statement's an expression statement, which is a method invocation expression, which contains a field access expression, which contains a name expression, and another name expression, which is the out. So basically that's the field access. We're accessing out from system. And then after that, we have the actual method that we're calling on the scope. So system.out.println. And then it has the argument, which is a string literal of SST testing. So far, it has worked, right? it's gotten to this line right here, and it's completed this line. So that's where it's up to right now. So we can keep going though. So we have a local variable declaration statement, which is a type of string. Hello 7410, welcome to the stream. And what it's declaring is a single variable declarator, which is the name of code. So if we have a look in here, we can see string code. That's correct. Now that should then be assigned. So it's an init value, because it's just initialized here. It's not actually assigned. Assign would be like if we did code is equal to something, that would be an assignment. So this is just an initialization. And so it's assigned to this, which is a string literal. It knows it's a text block, which is good. That's a good start. Then after that, we have two more print statements. So those are going to work. They're just naturally going to work. They're exactly the same. So those work. And then we get to the complexity and where the issue starts to arise. So then we have this try with resources. Now, it kind of works, but it doesn't work at the same time. So you see it finds the try statement, which is expected. It's just a keyword, so I would be surprised if it didn't find it. And then it correctly identifies a local variable declaration statement, which is this. But the problem here is that it gets the type, which is a var. I'm not sure that's necessarily, I guess that's fine. I mean, it's a primitive type basically, so that's fine. It knows it's a var, so that's good. And then it has the declaration here, so it knows that its name is Lexa, which is correct. That is the name. But then it says it has no init expression, which is the problem here. It doesn't think it's being initialized. Which is kind of the entire issue. Now you will see here that it's trying to do something after that. So it's trying to find another local variable declaration statement, which is weird. It has no data about it though, so I don't know how that's happened. Is var false? Yeah, I don't entirely know what that is. And then it's found the try block, so it has found the block statement as well, but it hasn't been able to do anything inside of this either. So kind of the first port of call today is just figure out why the hell it's not doing this. Why is it not picking this up, right? That is a major issue. I suspect it's an issue with new. I think new is the issue here, and it doesn't know what to do with it. That's my guess. So we're going to try and figure that out. And I think, unfortunately, it's going to be quite hard to do, but we're going to try. So, best place to start would probably be here. I think if I put a breakpoint here, so this is where we pass the local variable declaration statement. And then we know that it should be a var as determined by this. And so I suspect that will hit that breakpoint. So let's try it. Okay, it did. I thought it would. And it should pick up that var token. That should be fine. Yes, that's fine. And then that creates that into a Lexa token, which should then become the type. We know that works because that is in the AST. It has that type right there. So that's fine. The next thing is the identifier. Now, is it picking this up or not? Yes, it is picking up the identifier, so that should work in theory. So identifier, it creates the name and then variables. So the issue must be with this method right here. Pass variable declarator or declarator, however you want to say it. Let's jump in there and have a look. If match equals. Aha. Is that why? No, that should be fine, right? I think so. Let's see. So if we step into here and do the look ahead, step into there again, into the look ahead. So we want to step by 1. So let's look in the look ahead buffer. There is nothing in the look ahead buffer. Okay, let's fill the buffer then. And figure out what is the next token. It is a white space, but that's trivia, so we skip that. And then it is equals. Wait, is that a double equals? Oh, that's a double equals. Why is that a double equal? Unless it thinks it's here, but it's not there. Interesting. Oh, but here it says it's a single equals. So why does here say it's a double equals? What? Oh, no, it doesn't. It doesn't say it's a double equals. It's saying that the lexeme is equal to equals. That's what it's saying. Right, I forgot IntelliJ does it like that. So, yeah, okay. So that should be fine then. That shouldn't be the issue. It should add that in. And then that should cause this to advance. Okay, and then it should pass the expression. I don't know why this isn't working. So is lambda header should not be an issue. Let's go into pass assignment. Okay. And then what is it assigning it to, so that I know where we need to look at? So it's a new, so it should go all the way down the tree basically until it reaches a primary, is what we're expecting. So we'll keep going until it reaches a primary, which is quite far down. We have to keep going quite far down. Yep. That's fine. So where are we at now? We're at unary. It's not quite here. We need to go into postfix. Okay. And then we can step into primary. Okay, so this is a lot of the code that we wrote last stream. So it's possible something we did here was incorrect. So it should pass this and go into here. Pass instance creation or array creation. Correct. So it's, I reckon what's happening is it's erroring in here somewhere. So this should just be an empty list. Yep, that's fine. And then it should be able to pass the type. What does it think it is? Base type. Parts. So it's a class or interface type reference. And then the name. Okay, what should it be? Java Alexa. Interesting. So the issue is here then. In here, even. Okay, let's skip that one. I think that's fine. And then let's go into this. Okay, so now we're trying to pass a type reference. So it shouldn't be any of those. Okay, so then we grab the next token, which is O. Oh. Aha. Okay. I see the issue. So this needs to use match. That's why. Yeah, that's why. It needs to match. I think that will fix it. Okay, let's skip that one. And then let's skip that one and just see if it does it. Okay, no errors, but there shouldn't be errors. That shouldn't happen. So here we go, Lexa. Here we go. Init expression is an object creation expression. No scope. Okay. No type arguments, that's correct. Then the type is Java Lexa. Correct. Though it does think it's a type variable, which is incorrect, admittedly. But that's not really a problem right now. I will just quickly plonk a comment in here. To do Java Lexa gets passed as a type variable ref. There should be a class or interface type ref. That shouldn't be like a major issue, but that is just something worth noting. And then the argument should be code. Is that correct? That's correct. Okay, let's see if it's able to actually go into the block then. Try block. Here we go. Block statement. So it first finds an expression statement, which is a field access statement. Kind of. I don't know if that's correct or not. If this is considered a field access statement. I think it should be a local variable declaration statement. Yeah, because it thinks that now it's got a field access followed by an assignment, which isn't correct. It should be just a local variable declaration statement. And I think that's because of the dot that it's lost that. Because I think I look for an identifier followed by an identifier followed by an equals, maybe? So let's try and figure that out then. Let's look for parse local variable declaration statement. Here we go. So it takes the modifiers and the annotations. Well, no, I don't want it to do this though. I need to look at where it's being done. Is that here? Parse statement. Here we go. If next is any var final at or look ahead type 2 is equal identifier. Well, look ahead 1 would no. Look ahead 2 is a dot. Yeah, that's a problem. What I could do is I could say next is any at 2, and then I could say identifier dot. I don't know if that will fix it though. I feel like that might break something else. If the first one is a var, a final, or an at, or the next one is an identifier or a dot, isn't it the equals and not the dot? No, because it's, if you look at this, this is the first one, this is the second one, this is the third one, this is the fourth one, this is the fifth one, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. Right, you have to break it up. So like it's like this. We put a space between them all. Basically, these are all the different parts, right? Lexa is a part, dot is a part, snapshot is a part, snapshot is a part, equals is a part, Lexa is a part, dots a part, snapshots a part, open parentheses apart, close parentheses apart, and then semicolon is a part. So yeah, I mean, it has technically done what I wanted it to do, right? Like, it's then got an assignment expression, which is assigning it to be... no, see, that's actually not... Oh, no, that kind of is correct. It's assigning snapshot to be a method invocation expression, which is Lexa.snapshot, is that correct? Yes, that is correct. You should also support nested inner classes. Those are already supported, in theory. In theory, hypothetically. Okay. I mean, we can see if this works or not. I'm just concerned that this might cause something else to not work. I'm gonna ask Bigman ChatGPT what it thinks, because see, the problem with that though is, yeah, that won't work. That won't work. Because it could be, could be generic, is what I was going to say, right? It could be, for example, Lexa, like that, in which case that wouldn't work, because the second one would then become an opening thing. Like, it wouldn't work for this one, basically. Let's undo these as well, because that's horrible to look at. I mean, the kind of initial thing here of checking if it's a var, final, or an at would work. You know, let's create a method to do this. Private boolean is local variable declaration starts. If those are true, that should be fine. Yeah, that should be fine. And then we want int offset is equal 0. We don't need to care about final. Wait, can you do at not null final? Yes. Can you do final at not null? Yes. Okay, in that case I do need to ignore those then. Or do I? No, I guess it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's not going to be final or not null. Because if it was either of those, it would automatically just go into this one, right? So that should be fine. That should be fine. And then what we want to do is we can look at, well, yeah, because then the next thing would be a var, but we don't need to worry about var because that's also handled here. So what comes after that? Well, it has to be a primitive or an identifier, right? Is that correct? A primitive or a name, I suppose I should say. I think so. Yeah. It has to be. Right? Or am I crazy? Yeah. I think that's correct. So I'm just gonna check the JLS Yeah, that's 24. Don't want 21. I forgot how you even bind types. Type this? I think so. Yeah, so it's either going to be a primitive type, or I guess it could also be, well, it could be any type, to be honest, because it could be like, you know, you could have T, my thing is equal whatever. Oops. Is there anything else you can have? I mean, you can't have like question mark. You can't have E and B. Right. I think the best way to handle this, in my opinion, although the thing is, if you're doing like int, this could only ever be a local variable declaration, right? Or am I crazy? Could you ever do int that's not a local variable declaration? Trying to think. Technically, yes. Because you could do int.class. Well, no. You couldn't do that. Because you couldn't... Well, you could. I mean, you could do this, right? Non-final, non-static package private field? What do you mean? I'm so confused what you mean. What do you mean? In a class and not in a method? I'm so lost. That is not a local variable declaration. Well, that's why I'm only checking for var and final. Right? I'm not checking for static or public or private or, you know, anything else. Okay, I think the best thing to do is to look for a primitive. If it's primitive and it's not followed by a dot, then it has to be a local variable declaration. I'm pretty sure. Like nearly certain. I think it has to be. So if next is any, yeah, next is any of the primitives. So int, hopefully Cobalt can do the rest. Boolean, char, byte, short, long, float, double. Yes. What happens if I do this? Interesting. Okay. I feel like that's kind of allowed then. Like, you can kind of have a void, but like... I don't know. And next is any at 2. It's not a dot or a left square bracket. Well, yes, because you could have an int array. You could do, for example, like, oh, that's super annoying, because you can do int array dot class dot get declared fields, right? That is a valid thing, and that is not a local variable declaration. I mean, I'm tempted to just like look ahead for an equals before it finds a semicolon, but I don't know if that's the way to do this. Like, is that really a good idea? I don't know. Hello, Aleatorio. Welcome to the stream. I think it's open bracket, right? So basically we're saying if it's any primitive and it's not followed by a dot or an open bracket, then it has to be a local variable declaration. I think that's true. The other option of what we can do here would be to do a mark, right? Create a mark. So we can do mark, right? We all like Mark. He's a great guy. Right, so we can do mark. Can I just do this? Yeah. And then basically we can just roll back. So anything we do after we mark it, we can just roll back if it doesn't work. So basically we just want to pass a type. Pass type reference. Right? Well, I guess we want to... See, the thing is we want to try and pass a type reference. Don't we? We'll just try pass too. Okay, so try pass does a marker thing. So what does it give us? It gives us the result. Hello Fortnite, welcome to the stream. So in that case, what we can do, that kind of complicates things, but we can do a type ref type is equal try pass type reference, like that. If type is equal null, we roll back, return false. I think that's correct. Null if it failed, yeah. Yeah, okay. And then what we can try and do after that, because that means we then pass the type. So the next thing needs to be an identifier, right? And look at type 2. And next is any at 2. Is equal to so being an identifier, it doesn't technically have to, so it could be a comma, it could be an equals, or it can be a semicolon, right? So comma equals semicolon. Right? Mark.rollback return is variable declaration. I think that's it. Yeah. I think that... I think I'm like not certain. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT though. Does this look correct? Let's see. I think it's correct. But I could be missing something. So that's why I'm just going to get it to verify. You're close, but there are a few correctness bugs. Early true for var final at is too eager. Final and at must be followed by a type. Returning true here will misclassify non-declaration. No, it won't. But it won't, right? You can't have var... You can't have final or at if it's not a variable declaration. Right? Or am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. And then what does it say afterwards? Your try pass advances the real cursor, then you roll back. Your followers check. Oh. Wait, no, that's fine. Wait, it's saying I roll back here. It tries to pass it, but if it successfully passes it, then it won't roll it back. So it's fine. Advances the real cursor, then you roll back, but your followers check next is any relative to the original. That's fine. You don't allow for annotated / empty array brackets on a declarator ID. Oh, I haven't even thought about those. Those are the worst. Those are actually the worst. I forgot you can do those. Because you can do int a array. You can do that. It's stupid. You shouldn't be able to do it in my opinion. But you can do it. Because this is C style, yeah. I much prefer the Java style. Okay, well that's fixable though, because in that circumstance, we can also just check for an open bracket, right? So open bracket. And I think that fixes that, because if that's after the identifier, then it has to be, like it has to be. Yeah, it does, it just has to be. It can't be anything else. I'm seeing, it's giving me code for what it thinks will work. I think that's fine. I think it's fine. Although, admittedly, if it's an identifier after a type, doesn't it have to be a local variable declaration? Right? Like if I have int a, it can't be anything else. Like, this can't be not a local variable declaration. What else could it be? Is there anything else you could write after int a that would make it not a variable declaration? I don't think so. So actually, I don't need this, right? Unless I'm missing something. Did I already say a reason why I did that in the first place? And completely forgot what I said? Probably. I probably did, didn't I? I'm gonna... Can I be bothered to go back and check on the stream? Nope. Oh, I cannot be bothered. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that will work. Pretty sure. This passes. How does this do this? This does this. And then it takes that. Yeah. That should be fine. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it. Okay, so where are we at now? Variable declaration. Lexa. Wait, what? Okay, local variable declaration statement. Correct. The type of it is a class or interface. Okay, now that's correct. I don't think that was correct before. Now it knows it's Alexa with the name. Oh yeah, Alexa, and then a new part, and then snapshot. So that's two parts, because these are two different class or interfaces. So it's Lexa.snapshot, but they're two. Yeah, that's fine. Is it a var? No. Declarations. We have variable declarator or declarator. Init expression is a method invocation. Lexa.snapshot. No arguments. Is that correct? Yes, that's correct. Okay. That worked then. Okay, so the next thing to try is the while statement. So while condition is just a name expression. That's not correct. So for some reason names are being passed as true. This is kind of funny. Does that mean true is an identifier? True. What the fuck? It thinks true is an identifier. What? Why is the Alexa doing that? What is this music? I don't know. What is the music? It's always a good question. It's weird music. Okay, the Lexa's being weird then, so let's have a look at the Lexa. That should be easy to fix. I think for some reason it's just not looking at true. If I do that. Oh. Okay. Maybe in here. If I look at true. Boolean literal. Boolean keyword. So there's Boolean literals. When is this used? No, not Boolean literal. Wait, I don't have true or false keywords. Do I? Oh, because they're literals. Wait. I see the issue then. If we look at basically the keywords, basically what it's saying is there is no true or false keyword. Is that correct? Yes. Wait. Wait. Going through them. Yeah, see, we only have a boolean. Oh no, that's for actual like a boolean, like saying like boolean, you know, like that. That's not the same. Interesting. Okay, in that case, I need to do that then. Get your default, yeah, see, it gets your default identifier. But basically, if Lexeme is, if Lexeme, or if objects dot equals Lexeme, or no, we can do the other way around, right? We can do true dot equals Lexeme, or false dot equals Lexeme. Provide true equals Lexeme to what? The fuck you mean? What? Is this an IntelliJ bug? Or have I... Oh, I see. I accidentally put it in a string. I was gonna say, I thought IntelliJ bugged out for a second, but no, it was in a string. I'm an idiot. Okay, yeah, so that's the enum, and then this just takes in the type, but this doesn't have the Lexeme in it. How does this get the Lexeme? Simple token. Oh, I see. It does a slice, so it does that for me. Okay. Do I use keywords anywhere else? Kind of important. No, I don't. Okay, let's try that now then. Okay, so now it's a Boolean literal. Good. So while true, and then in the body, let's do this real quick. We can split them like that, and then like that. Get rid of that, get rid of that. And then we can come down to here. So we have a block statement. Inside there we have a local variable declaration statement. That's true. That should be this. So this is where I'm not sure it's going to work, but we'll try. So the type is a class or interface of the name token with a type variable of Java token type. Oh my god. That's not correct, but it's close, right? Because yeah, this should be a class or interface type reference, but that's the same issue we had before actually. So when we go ahead and fix that in a minute, we can that will be fixed too. So then what is this set to? So declaration, the name is token, correct, and that is set to lexa.next token. Lexa.next token, correct. And then we just have a normal system.out.println. And then we have an if statement. Okay, this is our first if statement. Should be okay, but we have an equality check here, which is what first time we have that as well. So we have a binary expression. Yes, correct. That's correct. The left is a method invocation. That's correct. With token.type, yep, followed by a double equals, followed by a field access. Correct. Yes, that's correct. Yep, that's correct. And then the then statement is a break with no label. That's correct. Okay. Then we have this. This should work, I guess. Just a method invocation, lexa.restore, and we're passing in the snapshot Yep. Then we just have a print line. Add a print line. Correct. That looks right. System out print line. Printing the string. Yeah, then we have local variable declaration, which is this one. So we have var, and then we're saying that parser is equal to a new Java parser. So object creation, we're doing a Java parser, and we're passing in the Alexa. Okay, that's correct. And then we have another local variable declaration. That will work. I'm not even going to check that one. Fine, I'll check it just in case. Let's see. Type is AST node. That's correct. Variable declaration. AST is equal to a method invocation exception parser dot pass. That's correct. Expression statement. These are going to work. I'm genuinely not. Ah, there's a freaking fly on my head. Get out of here. I think it's gone. I think it's a moth actually, not a fly, but it's gone, I think. Unless it's not. Let me know, guys. Is there a moth on my head? I hope not. So then we have 2 of these. Those will be fine. Nope, there it is. I see you. I see you, little piece of shit. Okay. Well, that's it, guys. That's it. It's worked. We're done. I'm joking. We're not done. We're very far from done, unfortunately. Okay, now what I need in that case is code. You're not. Before we do that, unless you guys want to prepare some code for me, but before I actually go ahead and do that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and fix the issue we're having. Now, one real quick thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna create a test file. We do actually have a test.java here as well, don't we? We try this because there's a lot going on in here. Let's try this one actually, first of all. Let's do that. So we can go ahead and I want to copy the path. There you go, copy, and I'm just going to take the absolute path, and then I'm going to say this is equal to files.readString path.of, and in a string please, like that, and then I'm just going to throw the exception. I don't care, to be honest. And just see what this does. This is a little bit more of a complicated one though, so I don't have extremely high hopes, but let's see. Okay, so start from the top. Okay, this hasn't worked. I can already tell this hasn't worked. It's not long enough. But let's see what it has managed to do first of all. So no package declaration. Correct. It says there are 3 import statements. Let's see if these are correct actually. Is wildcard? Yes. So java.util is wildcard. Nice. Then it's got java.util.function wildcard and java.util.stream wildcard. Yes, those are correct. Then we have a class. Okay, I think this has failed first of all, but we'll come back to that in a second. It's public, it has a name of test, and then immediately nothing. Okay. Interesting. So classes inside of classes are not working. Shall we try and figure out why? I guess. It's hopefully something pretty simple, but I don't know. So let's look for parse class body declaration. Okay, let's just put that in. Hey, get in there. Hey! Right, thank you. So, we have open brace. If it's static, and look ahead to is an open brace, then it's a static and initializer. That's correct. Class modifiers and annotations. Next is any class, interface, enum, at, or record. It should do that. So that should be fine then. Unless I have, oh, I do have at interface actually, don't I? That's why that one's not working. Let's try this again. Just see if that fixes that or not. Okay, it hasn't, unfortunately. Okay, let's try breakpoint this and see what happens. So if we look at modifiers and annotations, class name, this is test. So that's this one. So we can skip this one. Interesting. It immediately actually hasn't found this one then, has it? Okay, well, we can have a look, because we can say class name. So this is class name test. Then we get the start, modifiers, annotations. Step into here. Step into here. So we're looking one ahead. In the look ahead buffer, that says it's a comment, so it will just skip that one. Oh, comments are on the wrong channel, actually. Comments should be trivia. I don't know why they're not trivia. Control Shift F, line underscore comments. Try and find here. Yeah, this is not default, this is trivia. And same with these ones. Let's just make sure those are also trivia as well. Yeah, that might actually fix it. That might have been the issue, possibly. Let's give it a run and just see what it does. Nope, actually unchanged. Interesting. Okay, try again, see what's happening. So let's step into here. So we're gonna go into here. Okay, so in the buffer we have an at followed by an interface. Okay, so as I kind of thought, at interfaces are not working. I suspect though that is just because I forgot to add it in the keyword map. Actually didn't. I didn't. Interesting. Okay, in that case, do we have at underscore interface in here? No. Do we have... Okay, we have at, of course. We have interface. Interface. So we have interface keyword. Yeah, we do. That's weird. I don't know why that's happened. It should find the at and then the interface. Interesting. Let's look at the Lexa then. Okay. So we need to look for where we try and find ats. So we got slash, we got those, we got those, multi-chars. Okay, here's the issue then. I see. Okay. The best thing to do contains key current. Yeah. So the best thing to do here is to say if current is equal to at and peak 1. What the fuck is that, by the way? Yeah, if that is that, then basically what we have to do is do for I interface dot length peak I plus 1 is not equal to interface dot chart at I is equal interface dot length -1. Well, we need to know if the character afterwards is a space though. So let's do that then. At interface keyword. Like that. See if that works. Okay, so we go into here, into there. Boom, boom, boom. And the look ahead, it's still at interface. Why are you at interface? Okay. Oh, current is dot. Oh, let's wait until it is at then. That would help, wouldn't it? So peak I. Okay, let me try again. So I messed that up. Oh, because current is at. So we want to do I plus 1. And then I'm yeah, is equal that. Wait. No, it's plus 1. I plus 1 is equal interface.length -1. Is that correct? No. No. That one's fine, actually, isn't it? And then this consumes interface.length plus 1. I believe. Is that correct? Okay, it consumes. Okay. See what that does then. So we'll step over. Let's just try and run it from here, because that might have fixed it. It doesn't seem to have fixed it, actually, which is weird. I don't know why. I thought that would fix it. I was actually quite sure that would fix it. Let's figure out why. Step into here. Let's check that it is now finding at interface. Of course. Step into look ahead buffer. It is at interface keyword. Okay, so it should find that. Types class keyword. No. Interface keyword. Enum. At interface. Be true. So it passes the top level. Oh, that's why. Next is any at interface keyword. Like that. I don't think I can hot swap that, but I will try. That work or no? No. Try again. Let it run, let it run. Okay, it's got further. It definitely got further that time because it hit multiple times. So let's see what it's found. So class and then members, it's found annotation type declaration. Correct. Let's once again do this. And then put the test file there. And then hide that. And then we can see. So annotation type declaration. The name is called my annotation. And then inside of it, the declarations, there's a member declaration, which is a string. That's correct. Once again, shouldn't be a type variable, but we can fix that. And then the name is value. Correct. There's no default value. That's correct too. Okay, then it finds an enum. Okay, it's called color. The constants, there's an enum constant declaration. One is called red, one is called green, and one is called blue. That's correct. Then we find another class declaration. Okay. So we've got the name, which is box. Then in the type parameters, we should have T, but it looks like that's incorrect. It hasn't found T. Interesting. And that's where it broke, actually. Yeah. So it doesn't know what to do with T. Oh, yeah. I have not watched your streams in a while. What is Railroad? Railroad is a Minecraft modding IDE that I am developing. Make sure you stay hydrated, guys. So yeah, it's an IDE that I am developing that is built for Minecraft modding. And that's it. That's all I can say, really. Okay, generics, yeah, type references in general aren't really working. Unfortunately. I thought this might happen because I wrote them a while ago. So we can have a look at past type reference. Or... yeah, kind of. But let's look specifically for type variables, because it seems like type variables are just consuming it all, which isn't correct. I guess the question is, how do you determine between a class or interface type and a type variable? I guess you can't, can you? Or can you? I mean, they're used in different scenarios, I guess. And what it's finding is a type parameter, apparently. I mean, type variables aren't references, though. I think I'm using this wrong in some places. Because if you think about it, right, type variables aren't used in the same place that a list of string is used. I mean, let's have a look at this, right? Let's have a look at this to do, and then maybe that will help us fix. Yeah, maybe that will help us fix the problem. So, for whatever reason, well, yeah, we just need to find where we're looking for type variables, which is, so if it's an identifier and lookahead 2 is not equal to a dot, and lookahead 2 is not a left angle brackets, then we're just saying it's a type variable. I'm going to remove this to do and I'm going to ask, Big Man ChatGPT again. If this is correct. But I has a feeling that maybe we just shouldn't do type variables here. I mean, there's no way to know if it's a type variable or an identifier, realistically. Like, that's a semantic issue. Here we go. Let's see what ChatGPT has said. So it says, first of all, a void should not be accepted here. So here. But that's incorrect. It should be accepted there. That's fine. I'm gonna ignore that. Don't decide type variable versus class / interface in the parser. If your identifier is not type variable, reference misclassified plain class name such as string or list, simple unqualified in Java. Only name resolution can tell us T is a type variable or a class. The parser should build a class or interface type node for a bare identifier and let the semantic phase. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. So just kind of basically ditch this, right? So in fact, just ditch this class even would be probably the way to go. Because we can't deal with that. There's no way to handle if it's one of those or not. So yeah, and then is there an easy way to just delete a class? Can I safe delete? Refactor anyways. And then basically do this, I think. Okay, let's try that. This admittedly might break other things. Okay, this is just a class or interface type. Like that. Which needs to be list of type. Let's see. Okay, that runs. First of all, see if that fixed this or not. Type parameters. Okay, so type parameters are obviously something different then, aren't they? Which is interesting. Okay, let's try the previous class we had. So let's try, I'm just going to try sst_testing.class. So let's try this one. So Google copy path, absolute path. Boom. Give it a run. Okay, so then we just need to find where we have the types. So let's look for this one. So let's find token. Okay, not that one. Here we go, token, type arguments, class not interface, type ref, Java token type. Yeah. That's exactly what I was looking for it to do. Now actually we can test other methods as well. We can also see if the try catch works whilst we're here. So let's have a look at that. So if we look for parser.parse, yeah, and then this is system.out.println, and this is the try. Okay, so try, what are we doing? Let's get rid of these again. Okay, let's go in a little bit. So we have a try. Inside there we have a local variable declaration statement. So path. So it's type of path, which is a class or interface. That's correct. We're declaring that, so we're saying that it's init to a method invocation expression of a path dot of taking in ast output.txt. And then we have a method invocation, so we have files.delete if exists, passing in path. And then we have print ast So method invocation, print AST. Oh, that hasn't worked. So it thinks that the scope is print AST. And the method name is null. Has it actually got the rest correct though? So arguments AST, string literal, and then a new print stream. So new print stream, taking in a method invocation of files, a new output stream taking in path. That's correct. So the only thing that's messed up here is the method invocation, and it thinks it doesn't have a method name because of the scope. So if we look at method invocation expression, yeah, not this one. Okay, it's because of this. I thought it might be because of this. Next is any, expect open parenthesis. How has it even got that far? How has it even got a null method name though? Kind of weird. What has it done? It's passed the primary expression then. And it's obviously found an identifier, which is here. But it hasn't checked if what follows it is an open bracket. Yeah, that's not correct then. Handle. Well, qualified names. Kind of, yes. But we need to handle like field access, method calls, array access, all of them, really. I don't know how this is the first time that's happened. Okay, what about afterwards? So we then have the catch. See if that's in here. So we've got catch clause. We have a sugar type ref, apparently, which is an IO exception. With the name exception. I don't know what a sugar type ref is. I don't remember. Is that because it's in here, so it can also be like or something? I don't remember. That might not be correct either. We'll come back to that one. And then in the body, we just have a method called this should be fine. Method invocation, field access, which is vero.logger. We're calling the method name error. We're passing in a string literal, and then we're passing in the exception as well. Okay, perfect. And then we have the next method as well, which is this one. It should pass the annotation, so suppress warnings with a string literal of unchecked. And then the modifier is it's private static. The return type is void. It's called print AST. It should have 3 parameters, so let's see. It has AST node, it has string, indent, and print stream out. Okay, then in the body, we have an if statement. If node is equal null, that's not correct. I'm wondering actually if that's also not handled in Alexa. Could be though, right? Oh no, because it's probably null literal. Right? Null, yeah. It's a null literal, that's why. Let's run that again. So now that's a null literal. Okay, perfect. That's a nice and easy fix. And then we have a return statement. Nice. We have another expression, which is a method invocation. So we're doing out. Oh, this is where we have a bunch of additions. Let's see if this one works. So we have out.println, and we have, yeah, this seems to work. It's wrapped the binary expression in a binary expression, which is what it's meant to do. So we've got indent plus a literal string of this, and then we got that plus a method invocation of node. Yeah, method invocation inside a method invocation. Oh my god, this is kind of sick. Okay. This is actually kind of cool. The fact that it's just like doing this automatically. So we're saying node.getClass.get simple name. That's correct. And then we have an enhanced for statement. So this is our first one of these, isn't it? Yes, it is. Okay, this was a pain in the ass to code, so I'm curious if this works or not. So local variable declaration, which is a has a parameter class interface. It's field. Is that correct? I think that might be correct. Yeah, I think that's correct, actually. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure, though. And then we have an iteration expression, or the iteration expression, which is a method invocation expression, which is another method invocation. So that's just node.getClass.getDeclared fields, and then field set accessible true. That's correct. And then we have a try statement, kind of where all the logic is. We have a bunch of stuff in here as well. I suspect actually a lot of this isn't going to work, but we'll see. For the most part, everything's working, and I'm actually very happy with it. But we'll see. So try, we've got local variable declaration, which this should be fine. I mean, objects value is equal to field.get passing in node. Local variable again, which is this one, so that is string. Field indent is equal indent plus a space. Then we have an if statement, so we're saying if method invocation, so objects.equals method invocation field.getName and children as a string. Everything seems to actually be working. I'm really happy with this. Then we continue. Nice. No else statement as expected, but we have another if statement, which should be... Oh, this is going to be interesting, actually. So we have a binary and a unary. So the unary will be not include span, and, which is the binary, method invocation, which is objects.equals field.getName span, continue. We have an instance of if statement, so if instance of value is instance of a string array. Has that worked? Array type reference dimensions 1. Yes, that has worked. And then variable. What's this? It thinks it's a type ref. A type test, I mean. Why does it think it's a type test? That's weird because it finds the string array and yet it still thinks the variable of the type test is string. Oh, it actually breaks here as well. Interesting. Why is it doing that though? Value is instance of string array. It must be something to do with the fact that it's instance of a string array. Is this even a... No, so it hasn't even actually picked up the OR here, which I think is why... I'm guessing why it's broken. Expression pattern. Oh, no. This is correct. It is a type test pattern. Oh, no. This is fine. This is fine. Yeah. This is fine. The issue is that it thinks it's an instance of. Yes. Because it is an instance of, but that's wrapped in a binary expression, which should be this. And then inside there, there's another binary expression, because this is a parenthesized expression. So it's basically a unary of an instance of and a parenthesized expression. Then inside the parenthesized expression, it should be a binary expression, which should have an instance of and a method invocation. Now, it doesn't have that, so... Why doesn't it have that? Well, let's think about this. What will it be trying to do? My guess, if I had to guess, and this is just a guess, an educated guess, albeit, is that because it's a string array, I'm guessing it doesn't know that there's an OR afterwards. I suspect whatever I'm doing to figure out that this is a type isn't... But it does know it's an array, though. It does know it's an array. Interesting. Very question. Very important question. Does this have a double pipe? No. No pipes, even. Are they not called pipes? Oh, did I run it in debug? Pipe. Pipe. What? That's weird. Wait, that can't be right. Oh, okay, that's not even the right one. I was going to say, that's not even the right one. There's no pipes? There has to be. Try and find array. Or, value. Yeah, next one. Value. Yeah. Whatever. Don't care. Okay, let's see in value. And then I want to find an instance of... Here we go. Value is instance of a string array. Oh, it's called an OR. Which is technically correct. Am I handling that? I'm not convinced I'm handling that. I feel like I'm looking for two pipes. Let's have a look. Find pipe. So that's catches, and then this is bitewise X OR. No. Am I looking for dot or anywhere? Parse logical or. So it's passing a logical and. It's catching the instance of, though. So the issue is probably in the instance of. I think the instance of is probably taking up too much. Let's find parse instance of. Oh. Instance of. Oh, here we go. Relational expression. So let's. Can I like minimize this or something? You know what I'll do? I'll just bring it to my other monitor for now. I'll come back to it. So we take the instance of. If operator type is equal instance of, then we do left. And then we pass the pattern. So pass pattern must not be correct. Right? This is what has to be incorrect, I think. We can try run it again, maybe, and see what it's hitting. Okay. Modifiers is not empty. Okay, and then type. So what's the type? It's an array of string. Okay, that's correct. So if next is any, open parenthesis. No, it's not. So then we roll it back. Maybe the rollbacks aren't working. Because if I look at like a 2722, and if I look at the record pattern marker. Oh no, that is correct. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. So the rollbacks do actually seem to be working. So then we grab the variable. If next is any identifier. No. Span from start, type test pattern. It is a type test pattern, that is correct. Oh. Wait, what? How is the next an identifier? Oh, yeah, it is. I'm an idiot. It is an identifier, yes. String is an identifier. I was thinking, no, string is a primitive, but no, strings obviously aren't primitives. So... Okay. I'm just a little bit confused why it's not picking this up as like... And let's see what it does when it gets to... We've got bitewise and... Wait. Bitewise or? No. Logical and? No. It should match a logical or, though. Look ahead of n. Look at the look ahead buffer. It says it's an open bracket. Oh. Ha ha ha. Interesting. That's interesting because that means that... Oh, yeah, because it's just looking for an identifier. Wait, why am I rolling back? I don't need to roll back. Why am I rolling back? Genuinely, why am I rolling back? I don't need to do that. Do I even need this? Commit. Okay, but do I ever, like, not commit? No, I don't think I even need this. Right? Try again. So obviously it bugged out a little bit there. Yeah, so it gets the type. Then you've got the variable. There's no variable. That becomes a type test pattern. So we get to here. Quality, bytewise and, XOR, or, and, or, step into, in there. Look, it should be an OR. So advances, boom. Okay. Let's press play then. And let's see where it gets up to now. Okay. So, where were we? We're not looking at test, we're looking here. So here we go. Binary expression. The left is an instance of, value is instance of a array type of a class or interface, which is a string array. Or the right will be a binary expression, which is what I said. Which will be instance of as the left. Yep, so value is instance of a list of wildcard unbounded. That's correct, because it is unbounded. And then the name given to that is list. And then the operator is and. So and method invocation is list of strings list. Yes. Thank you. Okay. Ooh, ternary statements. Ooh, oh dear. Oh dearie, dearie, dear. Okay. Let's see. So we have a local variable declaration. That's correct. The type is a list of string. That's correct. The declaration is strings. That is equal to a conditional. Yes. Of an instance of. So we're saying value is instance of a list. No. No. That has not. Oh, no. Never mind. It's a string. I was looking at this. It's this that we need to look at. So a string array. Yes. A string array. Called array. And then the true expression, we're saying method invocation. So arrays dot as list. Array. Then the false expression is a typecast. Casting works. Oh my god. Wait, does it? Wait, I shouldn't get my hopes up because it might not. The name is list. Oh, no. That's the target. Right. So it's multiple parts. So this is the first one, which is a list type arguments of string. And then the expression is a name, which is value. that's correct. Then we just have printing. That's this one. Yeah, that should be fine. I'm not too fussed in checking it. We have an else, which inside of that we have an if, because it's just an else if. And then we say value is instance of value is instance of an AST node, which we are calling child node. Then we're printing. So I don't care about the then statement here. Else if value is instance of a collection of wildcard unbounded called collection. Yeah, that's fine. Do we have anything exciting in here that I can... Let's look at this one. I want to know about that, just to see if that's correct. So that's fine. Then method invocation, I think is this one. Yeah, out stop print line. So we're at this level, by the way. Enhanced 4, there you go. So object, which we're calling item in collection. And then we just do some more ifs in there. We know this one's going to be fine. We know this is fine. Yeah, I think these are all fine. Let's just check this, because here we have a method reference, and I don't think we tested method references. So I'm going to try and see. But all of this is fine. It's just kind of crazy. We are almost ready for you guys to send me some code, I think. I mean, we have a couple issues that will need fixing, but we can figure those out. So here we go, method declaration, type parameters. Yeah, so that's just the return type, which is a boolean. We have the name, which is that. We have the parameters, which is a collection of wildcard, which is called collection. And then we get the body, so we have an if statement, then a return statement. Oh no, this is the second return statement after the if statement. Okay, yeah. This is what we want to look at then. So we have a method invocation inside of a method invocation. That's correct. So we're calling collection.stream. And then we're calling allMatch. We are passing in field access. That is correct, because this is technically a field. Admittedly, it's a... wait, no, it's not, is it? Put access expression. Name, expression, part, string. Yeah. And then the expression statement that it's got here is null, because it hasn't been able to do the dot class. Okay. I see. Yeah. That's going to be interesting. So the issue in that case is with the dot class, I believe. And then, I mean, method references should work. They're pretty simple. I think the dot class is the problem, because I remember we had a lot of issues with dot class. here we go, class keyword. So what did we do to check this? So look ahead, type offset. This is called it here. Class literal. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think this is correct because I'm passing the type and then the dot and the class, but the thing is I've already passed the type and it's the expression, so that's not going to work. A class literal expression should really be like, even though it is just a type, we should just say it's an expression. It's weird to do that, but it's a semantic issue. Like, if I do dot class here, that is correct in terms of like parsing it, right? It's actually not in that case. But like, if I do type dot class, it doesn't know that's not valid. Yeah, it doesn't know that's not valid. And so it's a semantic issue that you can't call dot class on that. I don't know why it doesn't like this. Probably because, yes, it wants an expression. So we can just have an expression type. Pass that in there. We can also do span start. Like that. Get rid of that. And then we can look at where we're passing class literals, which is here. And just pass in span from, or we can just pass in start and expression. I think it is. What's wrong with that? It's not in scope? Oh, it's not in scope. Oh, wait, what? I thought it was. Okay, let's undo this then. So why isn't that working in that case? I don't know. Hi 30, what is a Java parser? It is, as it is in the name, it parses Java code. Returning basically this class into this 2000 line file. Well, technically no, we're actually passing these tokens into this file, but we're grabbing these tokens from here, which is the lexing, and then these to here, which is parsing. And then afterwards we're going to do semantic analysis, which is going to be taking this and analyzing it to see, you know, for example, can you do lexa.snapshot? Does lexa have a snapshot method? Well, to do that we have to figure out what is lexa. So we have to look here, we see that lexa is assigned to a Java lexa. So then we can see, does Java lexa have a method called snapshot? That's going to be really complicated when we get to that. But we still have a lot to do here first. We're not quite near that just yet. Though we're not far off, admittedly. We have a couple issues that we need to iron out. But we're not too far off. But unfortunately, guys, I think I am actually going to end the stream here. I have an absolutely whopping headache right now. And I don't want to push it too far. So I am actually gonna end it a little bit early, or well, an hour early. And maybe I will do a stream some point during the week instead. Let's see, when am I free this week or next week, I should say. I don't know, probably Wednesday, but maybe Tuesday, unless I've forgotten something, but I think that would be fine. So yeah, I am gonna go ahead and end it here. I hope you all enjoyed. We've actually made some pretty massive progress today, getting everything to work, so I'm pretty happy with that anyways. And everything else is just polishing and fixing a few bugs, which may be done by next stream, may not be, we will see. Next stream might even be back to onboarding, now that I think about it. But yeah, I'm going to end it here, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.